Blazing It Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
And it's a perfect day and a perfect morning to start off with a little negativity and the road rage.
Dude, I was at a standstill on I-76 going on to 85.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a
Pretty
standstill.
early to be a standstill.
And it's insane. And then
Right.
you try to get onto I-25, and then people are just, like, weaving in and out, like, trying to cut you off at this time of the day. I remember we drive around this time, and it was no one on the roads.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's as if it's 9 a.m. in the morning.
It's the road rage starts early, and for everybody else that drives as it's starting to build up now,
Yeah.
I feel so much worse for, because we can still navigate around it if something happens for the most part, unless if it's like a bumper to bumper, which is very rare at this time.
Right.
But like my latest thing is it's little, it's not a big thing, but I just don't understand why people
It's little.
can't segue from one lane to another without it taking a minute. Like, you know, when you change lanes, it
Yeah.
literally should take seconds.
Just get over.
Right. Some people are like, no, I'm going to signal, definitely going to check, and then I'm going to seg,
Right.
seg,
Right.
seg in. And then, you know, of course, the inconsiderate people that don't signal, those people kill me.
You know, that's my husband.
He doesn't signal?
No, he totally signals. But he can sometimes do the slow merge.
Right.
In fact, when we were going out to the corn maze, or the pumpkin patch,
Right.
he did one of those. And I was like, I wonder if Larry just realized if that's irritating Larry right now, that it took him forever to merge over.
Hey, as long as it's not affecting me in which way I'm going, but whatever, it's a small one. I said it wasn't the worst.
No, it's still irritating.
No, you should know, okay, I'm getting over right now. The signal is more of just like, okay, warning just in case.
Right, everybody.
But I've already looked over. I see the lane's clear. Tick, click, click. I'm over.
Right.
Yeah, not...
Right.
My other one is you know, that oncoming traffic to the freeway.
Yeah.
If you're in that lane where the traffic is coming on, it's your responsibility to either speed up, slow down, or get over to accommodate the oncoming traffic.
Right, because you need to understand that that's merging includes you.
Exactly.
So
you're now
right.
responsible in that lane. So some people could care less.
They're so ignorant going
Right.
down that lane.
And you only have so much space to get over.
Yeah.
So now you're like almost coming to a standstill on where people are going 80.
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
Especially like your part of Havana getting on I-70. There's
Right.
not much room for you to get on the highway.
It's a second. They literally they cut it in half. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but you have like seconds to get over.
Yeah.
And you're screwed if people are not accommodating you.
And the sad thing is, like this morning, this time of the hour, time of the day, like you're dealing with people that are on the road because they've been working 10 hours and now they're going home, so they're exhausted.
And they want to get home.
You're dealing with people that didn't sleep last night and they're heading to work and they're exhausted.
Right.
You're dealing with somebody that, I don't know, is a night owl and they're wide awake, so they don't understand why traffic isn't moving. Like there's a lot of different personalities out on the road in this morning.
You know what?
At this time of the hour.
My thing is, like, I fought this for so long, but when you take that new bridge in Stapleton, it's
Central Park. Yes.
And you go
Your $50 million bridge?
I guess. And
Yeah.
it's for 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Good job. So then we're going over to get on the freeway, and for whatever the timing of those lights, you just end up being at the entrance for a long time because the arrow doesn't time right.
Okay. The entrance
To get onto I-70.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there, and every day people blow that arrow because nobody's around there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So people will just like gun it and run a red arrow. And so I'm always like, whoa, I'm just like, you know,
can't.
thinking, what jerks, you know? And now like a couple times I did it.
Did you?
Oh, and I just said it on the air. But like, because
Someone's going to know your car and be like, oh, there's Larry again.
well, there's nobody around.
Right.
So, like, and then I don't know, like, there's nobody. It's not one of those intersections where they're policing it with flash bulbs and cameras.
Right. It's not Aurora.
Right, for sure. So, before where I was like, I can't believe those people. Huh, what idiots. Leave earlier, and then if you need to.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, there is nobody around.
Exactly.
And it does take 10 minutes for the light to cycle through.
Right, and I'll just be on my way.
Right.
No need for the lights to change
And
all that to happen when I could just gun it and be on my way.
And then I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, they have cameras at every intersection, so they're like, oh, there goes that guy again.
Yeah, right.
We better put a cop over there
One
some
of
morning.
these days, yeah.
That's the only thing I get paranoid about. It isn't even so much a cop saw me run a red light. It's like, oh, shoot, did they have a camera? They had a camera on that light. They definitely got. That's the only thing that freaks me out.
Right. And now with the high-def cameras, they know exactly what you're playing.
Oh, yeah, they show you inside the car what you're doing.
They show the shovels you just bought to bury your wife that you just killed. And now they have your receipt and you driving to Home Depot to buy the shovels.
I guess it's a good thing you're not in that truck anymore then, Wig.
Well,
you
no,
have like a clean slate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the blue truck. yeah, it's different.
Since you traded it in.
Although the Nissan is a lot faster. So,
you didn't need that.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, he already drives terrifying.
I know he does. In a big old truck.
I call driving with him going to Universal.
No, it's not terrifying. It's not like I'm hitting the like racing.
No,
you
but
just hit the bumps because you just can't stand a truck.
No, it's very like high up and
it's
and
high
he drives
up.
kind of fast.
Yeah, he does.
It is a ride.
Okay, either I drive fast or I don't, because you've complained before that I drive like a grandma.
You have said he drives like a grandma.
So it's either one or the
Which
other.
one is it?
When I'm in the passever seat, he's driving like a maniac.
Okay.
No,
when
that's
he's
not
following me,
he drives like a
kicks
grandma.
an old lady mode.
Larry drives crazy.
Larry drives crazy.
And he doesn't know that he drives crazy, and so I go when he drives and I say something, I'm like, dude, I can't stand driving with you. What?
Well, I will say this: a lot of times,
What do I do?
You gun it,
or you forget that someone's following you.
Yeah, that's
I know,
true.
I understand that.
But if you're at a stoplight, or if you know that you need to get up, and it's like nearly every stoplight, you just go, and you just like gun it, and then you like go back to the seat, and then all of a sudden you get too close to the person, and your head come like slammed forward, and then I'm just like, dude, you're a crazy driver. I am not.
I am, but you're motion sickness boy.
Yeah, you are.
It's crazy driver and motion sickness boy, the worst duo ever.
Right. Why do they keep putting themselves through this? Yeah, you know why? It's because Larry needs to go back to Cudarelli one more time.
I do. I actually do.
I do too, actually.
Because he wanted to fine tune me, and so I see so much better than I ever have. But he wanted to fine tune me, so I am going to go back. But we want you can text us and get it off your chest, your road rage. You can text us at 303-728-3420 and give us your latest pressure on the road, and don't do it while you're on the road.
No.
Yeah.
And the phone line is coming Monday. Got the tracking order, so Monday we'll have the YOLO phone line in place, and we'll actually be able to have the calls back on here. So we know that it's been an issue if you've been calling in.
Yeah.
Right. We want you to call. We miss you. We miss your little funny voice.
Well,
cute little face.
Then I will save some of these Halloween things for Monday when people can call in and comment on them.
Ooh, that's good.
These
That will
little
be
tidbits
good.
that I have.
We
Yeah,
have
for sure.
Fright Fest tickets because you guys are going to be there
This Friday night.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
commercial? It looks terrifying.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like,
They have a really cool commercial for it.
it's we'll be out there this Friday night from 7 to 9.
Blazing It Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins in the house. Happy Wednesday.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Dentists are more likely to kill themselves than any other profession.
You'll be a dentist.
You'll be a dentist.
You have a knack for causing things pain. Ooh, I am your dentist.
He is your dentist.
What is that?
People pay you to be inhumane.
It's from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, Steve Martin, when he was the dentist.
Yeah.
But he was the
Okay.
sadomasochist, so he'd go in and like knee people in the crotch and then pull their
Right.
teeth out.
Is that the one with Rick Moranis and the
Yeah.
talking plant?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the one.
I saw that as a kid, and the only thing I remember is I was like, this is really weird. And why is that plant talking to that guy? And that plant looks like it belongs in Mario Brothers.
And it ate blood. That plant ate people.
That's what it was.
That's right. Yeah, right. And
I've given you sunlight. I've given you none. And then he's like has to put his finger in the plant. And then he starts killing people. It's a really good. It's a good movie. You know who else is
he
in
kills
it?
people for his plant?
Yeah, he starts killing people
Feeds
to
them.
feed the plant because
Okay.
the plant keeps getting bigger. It's an alien plant.
Okay.
But that girl, she was all, oh, Seymour, they talk like this the whole movie.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
And you know who else was in it was Martin Lawrence's girlfriend in
Gina?
Gina. She was one of the.
Oh, yeah,
chicks.
she was one of the singers.
Little stop Bahamas.
Yeah.
They were
Tisha
Destiny's
Campbell.
Child before Destiny's Child.
Yeah, they were, really.
Yeah, she's a great singer.
Tisha Campbell.
Yeah.
And was Steve Martin in that?
Yeah, he was the dentist.
Oh, wait, I thought Rick Moranis was the dentist.
No, Rick Moranis was just the little nerdy guy.
That's right, okay.
Oh, there it is.
That's Steve Martin.
Puppies with the BB gun.
I'd poison guppies.
And when I was done,
I'd find a pussycat
and bash in its head. Hang on. There's Tisha Campbell right there.
Yeah, there she is.
What does she say? She said, my boy, I think someday you'll find a way to make your natural tendencies pay. You'll be a dentist. You have a knack for causing things pain. Be a dentist. People will pay you to be inhumane.
Oh, you ripped that doll's head off.
Priesthood and teaching would suit you still. Stop be a dentist.
You'll be a success.
Okay.
They did this really cool thing here. The directors, they have a camera shot. Watch him suck up that gas. Oh my God.
Larry.
Oh, that hurts. I'm not numb.
Shut up. Open wide. Here I come.
Look at this shot.
Okay. Turn it off.
They have this shot where it looks like it's being filmed from somebody's mouth, but that's like all fake. It's just so funny.
Just to hear that drill noise. So dentists are more likely to kill themselves than any other profession. A dentist is 545% more likely than average to commit suicide.
Okay, why?
I have no idea. Maybe Steve Martin was onto something. It takes a special type of person to be a dentist.
Maybe it's because they have access to drugs and then they become drug addicts because of all the nitrous.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just going in people's mouths. It's not here's what's so funny about dentists is like I loved Smile High. Always loved going there. It was Smile High, right? Yeah. I loved going there. But they would try to talk to you, and I don't know if they understand you. But you have your so what did you do today? Well, I know. But they understand you. I'm like how you understand me right now?
Maybe it's depressing because you're just dealing with like people that don't floss enough, and so you're like dealing with some gross stuff when you go in there.
No, I think it's the root of it. That if you like to cause people pain, there's something wrong with you.
Well, here's the thing: if you have a loved one that's a dentist, keep an eye on him, will you?
Yeah, right. You know what I just noticed, Larry, with the video up of the three girls? The Tisha Campbell was one, but Tashina Arnold is one of the other chicks singing.
Oh.
The chick from the mom from Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh, okay.
She was actually with, she was Gina's best friend.
Oh, okay, that's crazy.
In Martin Lawrence.
And the other chick is Oprah.
Oh, no, it's not.
It is Oprah.
No, it's not.
That's how Oprah got her start in show business. But there is one bigger girl that she's all, woo!
Yeah, no, right. There's always, the threesome always still has to include the bigger girl.
Right.
Right.
Now,
So,
if Wig played the open scene to that, to Little Shop of Horrors, with its all singing intro with Tisha Campbell and all them.
Yeah.
I know every single word.
Dude, you knew every word of
No,
that
I know,
song.
but if you played the intro, that's the jam.
I feel like this is like your hidden song that you loved back in the day, or
Yeah,
movie
like
that you just loved.
I just love that we're talking about it and you're not moving on it.
yeah.
I'm just like, as we're talking, go
Little
ahead
Shop,
Oh, you want me to play it?
Little Shop
That's
of
it,
Horror.
yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that the song?
Yeah, and the thing is, whoever wrote the music for this is obviously like a award-winning Broadway person, whatever.
Well, it did go on Broadway. Yeah.
No, it was before it was a movie. I probably listened. There it is. And there's
Okay.
Oprah. Here's Oprah.
Impress us, Larry.
Okay.
Okay. I can't believe you. Do you know? Wow. Were you just alone as a little child?
Well, if you're gay, you find these moments and you don't know what they are.
But you just know, I like that.
Exactly. It's like, why do three chicks standing together, harmonizing in matching dresses mean so much to me?
Yeah, it is that.
Alley-oop. Okay. Look out. Look, there's Oprah on the left.
It's not Oprah.
Yeah.
Sing, Larry.
Oh, don't you move. Oh, here we go. You betcha, you better. You better, mama, something's gonna get ya. Everybody better beware.
Oh, my God.
I know. No, that's why the whole, because you know what I am? I'm a different generation of Chris Parenti.
You know what
I mean? Because he knows all the old musicals.
He does know old musicals.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And he says the same thing. As a gay boy growing up, like, you would just gravitate to things and not know why. And,
for sure.
Yeah, and he loves his musicals.
Right. Like, that was my Destiny's Child before Destiny's Child. And then before that, some gay dude had, like, the Supremes or something.
Exactly. Right.
You know what I mean? So it just repeats. Although we are lacking for a sister band.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need
a new one. Somebody needs to come around.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Right.
That was
Little shop of horse.
And keep an eye on your dentist.
Hey, camera, action.
And now,
all tea, all shade, hunty.
Celebrity Trash Batch with Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
Gotta get an amen up in here.
Here's Kathie J.
We all had jobs before, something good happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you became famous, right?
I worked at a gas station for a week.
Yeah.
I was a meter maid.
No, you weren't.
I was
How
a meter
are you
maid.
just now hearing this?
Yeah, that's not what.
Are you kidding me?
I was a meter maid when I was also an alcoholic in college.
That's great.
So I would drink all night, and then I would have to get up at like 6 in the morning, and I would have to go collect all the quarters from the meters.
What?
Oh man,
Who are you?
It was
They
the most
trusted you?
It was the most miserable job I ever had. And then the breaking, the thing that broke it, I know it's
Is when you stole a bunch of quarters?
No, they had me work in the parking garage after a basketball game, and I was like literally just inhaling the fumes, and I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I was like, I quit. And so then I became a security guard at a library.
Oh, yes.
Yo, stop with that book! Bring back that book!
Said no one ever.
No, there are pervs at a library.
Oh, no, there are.
How do you think you got laid? So wait a minute. Here's my question. With the meter thing, which we never knew about you.
Yeah.
Do they... they know how many quarters should be in there? Is there a way of keeping track?
No,
how would they?
you would just put up a bag underneath it. You'd unlock the key thing. You'd open it up, and it would come out at an angle, and your bag would be underneath there. Because if you put your hand underneath it, and then you just seal it up. But there was a lady that drove with you that worked there.
Oh.
So she's like making sure you're not buying something with those quarters.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think probably like looking back, I was like, I probably could have been a little bit.
No, we're
creative.
glad you didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not normal to steal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, when you're in college.
right, exactly. I would have been like, oh, that quarter, all those quarters just fell.
Now it's all just credit card.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
To get into for your.
Anyway, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, we have to because we got to come back to you doing a security in a library. Didn't even know that about you.
Having sex with homeless people.
No.
All right. So speaking of the jobs, Method Man. Meth worked is now telling people he worked at the Statue of Liberty for 5 years. And
what?
That whole time he worked at the Statue of Liberty, he never went up to the top.
Okay, this is like finding out about Wig being a meter maid.
Right. It's like what? He was on the Late Late Show Monday night, and he talked about working there at the Statue of Liberty, and asked why he never went up to the top. Because, I mean, if you work there, even if it's closed, you can go up and see what it looks like at the top of the Statue
especially
of Liberty.
when it's
right,
like,
you're
I would
there.
spend the night up there.
Exactly. Well, he said, listen, man, you only get a half-hour break, and if I went up to the statue, I wouldn't have any time to make it back down to get to work on time.
He's I'm always in a woman's head anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I've been up there.
You have?
On Grand Theft Auto. Like you can go.
You shot from up there.
Right.
Statue of Liberty on Grand Theft
Yeah,
Auto.
in Liberty City, yeah, and you can take a helicopter there. You can land there, and I mean that was the game before because the most recent one's in California. But yeah, you can go up in there, and if you there's actually a hidden thing in there. If you go in, you can and you keep going up this ladder. You can there's an actual heart inside of the Statue of Liberty, and it beats, and it's like yeah.
Wow.
So what happens there?
I don't know. It's just a cool little hidden thing in there.
Oh, okay. I was like, do you
Nothing. You don't hurt. You don't shoot Lady Liberty.
Well, that's what I was saying.
I'll kill the heart.
Do you get points for okay? Meth also said in the half hour I had time to either eat on my break or smoke. Which would you do?
I would smoke and then eat one of those hot dogs from those carts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then look back in time in a half hour.
Right. Good New York hot dog.
Colin Kaepernick has landed $1 million book deal.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yep, he just inked a book deal worth over $1 million with Random House imprint One World. He needs something because he's not going to be getting a job in the NFL.
That sucks. Yeah, so he's going to need to make his dough. Since we know his agent, I was like, just out of curiosity, I was like, is that guy set with his dose situation for working, in the NFL the time he did. And he was like, yeah, he could definitely live comfortably, but he has other things on tap. I think the guy's actually even getting a reality show.
I've heard rumors of that, yeah.
I wonder if he still gets money for his jersey selling. Because even though he hadn't played for 2 years, last year was like a #1 selling jersey at one point. So I wonder if he I wonder if he still makes money for that.
Or if the 49ers get all the money.
Yeah.
I wonder. Kaepernick was in a lot of meetings with publishers in New York offices a couple weeks ago, and the book deal went through. So no word on what it's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be about all this.
You know what he needs is, a black coach to hire him. We have a black coach.
Yeah. We do.
Maybe not for much longer.
Yeah, but we also have a white-owned company.
I know, exactly. But, I mean, sometimes the coach is like, hey, you got to give me what I need. And Colin Kaepernick's still great. You know what I mean?
Elway is like a huge Trump and Republican.
Yeah.
I know.
He's not saying he's anything else, but I'm just saying he's...
I know. But, look how those guys are trending. It's like all they do is they're old and they chase women and they're gross.
John Elway sexually harassed his secretary.
No, that's just allegedly.
No, that's not even allegedly. That just came out of Wheaton's butt. Sorry, Mr. Elway.
We didn't mean that, Elway. I almost ate at your restaurant at the airport the other day. Oh, Kid Rock. Now, here's the thing. Kid Rock remember he was joking about running for Senate?
Right, no, he was putting floaters out there, and they said that he was actually even doing the research and the paperwork to get everything lined up.
Right.
And then it must have, come back at him that nobody would vote for him, because then he was like, I'm not doing that. That's dumb.
Oh,
isn't that it?
No.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of people were going to be voting for him.
Okay.
So the lady that was Debbie Stabenow, she should probably be happy that Kid Rock is not.
So why is he dropping out?
He never even was doing it in the first place.
They just said he was probably going to.
He wanted to drum up the people keeping his name in the headlines because he's got a single coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
So, but here's the thing is, to all the people out there, and I know some of them that actually were like, yeah, if Kid Rock ran, I'd vote for him. He is now mocking you, the fan that actually would have voted for him.
Right.
So Kid Rock is not running for Michigan Senate. He's not doing that at all. He confirmed it on Howard Stern, said it was all a joke. He said, blank no, I'm not running for blanking U.S. Senate. Are you blanking kidding me? Who blanking couldn't figure that out?
So in other words, he's saying that if you were going to vote for him, you're really not in the know about who you would vote for because he's not even running.
Right. That's kind of what he's saying, which is kind of...
Well, that's how Trump got elected. Yeah. Everybody's just kind of, it's like, sometimes it's just name recognition. And branding.
Yeah, totally. Branding. It's branding.
I never let political beliefs affect who I liked. And I liked Kid Rock, and I still like him. I really liked his music and all that.
Me too, back in the day.
But it is crazy to see when he goes to the White House with Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of...
Ted Nugent.
Well, you definitely know what side he's on.
Yeah.
I know,
but actually running is totally different.
Well, even if those people weren't famous, they'd probably hang out. They'd probably be like, hey, what do you want to go shoot?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
totally.
no, for real.
Right.
But don't you remember, there was something circulating on the internet a while back that Kid Rock actually was he came from a rich family. Growing up. So that would explain some of his roots.
Yeah, well,
his thoughts.
His story's interesting because he left there and then he went to hang out in the inner city of Detroit, and that's kind of where he learned his music and all that stuff.
Right.
You know who's really devastated is Sarah Palin, because Trump never tried to grab for hers.
Never.
He's like, you're too old, gross.
Yeah. Kids spent a lot of time lying about running for Senate. In July...
So he was encouraging the rumors.
He said, so he encouraged the rumors, but now he's like, what are y'all talking about?
Okay, that's not cool.
If you're in the in, you're in the in. If the rest of you actually thought I was doing it, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. New album he's hyped is called Sweet Southern Sugar, and it comes out November 3rd.
All right.
And finally, the Kardashians got a $150 million TV deal. Okay, and that's your trashing badge.
Shut up. So here's the thing. It turns out...
Like, yes.
No. It's, based on your past performance and their past ratings and stuff. And the girls have been doing those shows for a long time, so they got the lion's share, the original 3.
Yeah.
Kim got the most. Yeah. Chloe and Kendall... Not Kendall.
No, Chloe and Courtney.
Got the next big chunk. And then it kind of goes out from there. Kylie gets a little more than Kendall.
Yeah.
And Kendall gets a little more than Rob.
Yeah.
Rob gets the least.
Yeah.
And then the mom got $15 million, 10% for booking the deal.
Dang, Larry, you know a lot, bro.
Oh, okay. Somebody
see what happens when you poop and you read TMZ in the morning?
Yeah.
You're informed. TMZ is like my brand muffin.
Okay. Of all the stories, though, that you could have focused in on this morning, there were other things about Harvey Weinstein and everything, but you really read into the Kardashians.
Oh, yeah, and there's a new Harvey Weinstein thing that is so disgusting.
Oh, it's so gross.
We'll have that on the next Trash and Bash.
When I heard it yesterday, I was like, yeah, you're a pig.
Yeah. He's either a pig or a vampire.
Gross. Yeah, uncomfortable.
Yeah. We need to do a segment that's Larry Ulibarri on the Kardashians.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he knows all of it.
You know everything about it.
And here's the thing, you guys. Let's not all panic because Kylie's ratings aren't blowing up. I mean, the thing is...
They're not.
I know, but her show's, it's going to grow. It's got legs. And the thing is, she's going to be a billionaire by 2022. So
and then
everybody just chill out.
Are you worried about her with having the kid and then she's got a lot of money and she didn't really like the spotlight in the first place, so maybe she'll just go and be happy
you're
and not
right,
come
Kathie.
back for her show?
She could be the next Rob.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Blazing It Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. and Wiggins.
Yeah, so we the text line is the only thing working right now. The phone line's coming on Monday, 303-728-3420. I gotta say, I'm so happy you guys are back. You make my day no matter what the time of day is. I especially love the fact that you now have the ability to be yourselves. It feels so much like talking to friends. You can get into detail on your stories and run off on tangents. That just pop into my mind, and it's amazing what you can do for my day.
Oh, that's great. That's exactly why we wanted to leave terrestrial radio,
right,
and start our own, because we wanted the freedom to talk more and get into stuff.
Right, and it's like when you're working for like a big corporation, they're like, nope, you'll play 20 songs an hour and you'll play all these commercials, and that's how that works.
Right.
So we'd have little windows to say things, and then we'd be like done.
Right.
And so it's kind of a pain in the ass. And then the thing that was really frustrating, right before we left, it was like every stop set was 10 minutes long, and it was like, hey, it's Larry for this. Hey, it's Kathie for this. Hey, it's Larry and Kathie for this. Hey, it's you-know-who for that. And it's, it was just this constant, like, interruption of what we wanted to do to entertain people.
Right, right. But they had to rely on it to keep their
corporate
wheels
line
going.
Right,
but,
sure. Breaking free means doing it on the show. It means musically we can play what songs we want. We're not restricted to a 10-song playlist,
right?
And we can go deeper on the throwback. We can play some pop, and
we're just different. We're giving you what you want and what you've asked for. That's the best part. It's not just us doing it. It's what you guys have told us when you met Larry and Kathie on the street and
every
single
They're
time.
Like, you guys stop playing the same 10 songs in a row. We wish you could talk more.
Oh yeah,
right.
I stopped listening after your show's over, so now the show never ends.
Right,
which is cool because we do have people that catch it on their way into work at 11 a.m.
Right. So after the morning show, it kind of repeats the rest of the day.
Right, so it is really cool. And there's something that I really want to get into with our listeners, okay? And it's about the Halloween costumes coming out, okay? So
sexy nurse.
Right. So everything, find a way to make it a slut. I get it. That's what happens with adults. But kids, okay? Red Book, like they're a famous magazine, okay? They actually have officially come out against white girls dressing as Moana or Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. If you're not of that culture or that race, Red Book is saying white girls can't dress as that character.
See, I don't think that's cool because it's like that's not how that works. That's like saying
that's not how any of this works.
Right, that's
like
not how
saying,
any of this works.
Only James Earl Jones black people can be Darth Vader, and he was only the voice, and it was a white guy in the suit.
Right. No. Well, my whole thing is Avery, my daughter, she's 4 years old. She loves Moana.
Right.
She sings the songs. She has the outfit. She has a hey that Uncle Larry bought her. She just loves all of it. I see her like in the bathtub. She's like got the imagination when her necklace falls in the water and she sings right. And I love it. And I think that where you cross the line is if you want to do like brown up your child's skin to go out in the costume. But
no, for sure.
Just wear the costume.
Right.
I mean, how else are we supposed to learn about each other's cultures? If you're not allowed to encourage their imagination when they're young.
Well, and it's like little girls that have grown up. I'm sure little black girls wanted to be
Cinderella.
The Frozen girl.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? So they're allowed to be imagined that they're the Frozen lady. So it shouldn't be restricted by race. No way.
Yeah.
That's not cool. And that goes to that whole ultra sensitive, total, politically correct. And yeah, as long as you're not like Kathie said, like doing blackface or something like that, those characters are meant to be broad-based and for everybody.
The kid doesn't know the difference for them. You know what I mean? They just love the character and love the movie. They're not like
at all thinking about I have to be that race.
Well, and it's high time that Disney and them came around and stopped making every princess white.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so
applaud that.
Yeah, they're finally coming around and mixing it up a little bit. So, yeah, I think that's great.
Redbook Magazine says that if your kid wants to trick or treat as one of these characters, you should, quote,
have the people sign a disclaimer.
Quote, think about using this Halloween as an opportunity to teach your kids about the importance of cultural sensitivity.
Whatever. Okay, never buying Redbook.
Right. Like, I really just think that they were such a good source for like
mommy topics.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm like, how did you miss the boat on this? Instead, I think this is an opportunity for you to educate your kid
on inclusion.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And knowing that, it's like, hey, let's go and see where Moana's from. Let's see where the other princesses are from.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Right. So,
haters. There's just haters out there.
Well,
man.
I would like to know, if you're Polynesian and you see a little white girl in a Moana outfit, are you going to get offended?
Don't ask that question.
Why?
Because Polynesians hate us. So
okay.
That's going to throw the whole survey off. Let's ask about the other princesses.
Other thing, my roommate in college was Polynesian. He did not like me.
Yeah. No. Especially even there's some people when you go to the islands, they're just not into tourists. There's certain parts of the Big Island where you can't go if you're white.
No.
They're literally why are you here?
Okay, I can see. I can believe that.
I know. It's because we traded their whole land for Spam.
Okay, right. Okay, I get that.
Right.
I get that.
And now, are you going to pass that doobie or what?
The Cannabis Chronicles.
Get it out. Shout at the rooftops. This is great.
Brought to you by The Green Solution.
All right. Cutthroat professionals have a new trick up their sleeves, getting stoned. Yes. Is everything okay?
I have some graham cracker in the back of my tooth.
Okay. Right here.
You're going to have to go to a dentist.
You'll be a dentist. Okay, so with New York's now decriminalization of marijuana on the rise, apparently 600 people were surveyed in 5 different areas, and it looks like they're saying professionals are now using the vape pen at work to get through the day.
Well, and you know what? It's leave us that. I mean, because you all have your coffee, and everybody freaks when there's no coffee because they're addicted to coffee. And what's caffeine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's don't hate.
Researchers say there's a growing legion of marijuana vaping people, including the New Yorkers who smoke at work. There are approximately 30 million adult cannabis users in the United States, of which 10 million vape.
Here's the thing. What they really need to do is that vaping thing, it smells amazing. Even when it's the pen or when Wiggins does it in the little machine or whatever.
Yeah.
My thing is it smells so good, but it's very specific. So it's if they could make that smell not so obvious, then people could get away with it at work.
You've been saying that since day one. 10 years ago, I remember you saying.
That I was saying about flour. If you could develop a flour that didn't
smell.
And then they kind of did with the pen and stuff. It's way more laid back. I mean, people don't know. I mean, you can get away with it at a concert or, once in a while at a movie, you'll be like, okay, I smell some vape pen in here.
Yeah, you totally do.
Mm-hmm.
A CEO that was in the survey says that I've been smoking since I was 21, but toking the traditional way didn't mix well with my productivity. So with vaping, there's no lethargic feelings, no munchies, no red eyes. It's a functional high. If I have a presentation or I'm nervous, I'll take a hit and it helps me focus and calm down. Seems to not be holding me back.
Right. No. It really is the perfect kind of in between. Let's say something is big as a bong rip or maybe even a dab.
Right.
You know, that pen is kind of like the low level of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a regular coffee versus an espresso.
Yeah, right. And marijuana is legal in New York State for medical only at the moment. Okay, but if you have possession of less than 25 grams, it's decriminalization there. That's how they're dealing with it in New York at the moment.
Well, hopefully they'll just get recreational.
Exactly. But there are certain jobs where I even agree, I don't need to know, I don't want you smoking. I wouldn't want you on a prescription pill, and I wouldn't want you drinking.
Right, but then those people do those things anyway because those are mainstream and they've been worked in. So you'll probably eventually get a heart surgeon who's a big lush. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or something like that
happens. But someone that was a construction foreman, he caught an employee vaping on the roof of one of the buildings they were working on, fired him on the spot. He said, you could put us all in jeopardy. You open yourself up to accidents, and the whole job could be shut down. So jobs like that, you should know.
Let's pick those out right now.
Okay,
we don't want our school bus drivers to be vaping.
No,
or teachers.
Anyway, so we don't want our school bus teachers.
Have you heard what some teachers have to deal with, Wiggins?
Have you been in a room full of 30 kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway.
You're not going to make it through sober, I'll tell you that much.
but like Wiggins, I mean, in defense of Wiggins, maybe after you get off school.
Yeah,
when you get home.
Think of the children.
I'm definitely saying, when you get home.
Right. We don't want, like, airplane pilots vaping.
Right.
Even though the planes land themselves now. We don't want, like, cops vaping because they have to make split decisions and shoot people, and they're the last people that need to be indecisive and second-guessing themselves.
Exactly.
Unless, who else do we don't want the lady counting our money at the bank smoking.
Right.
Vaping at work.
No, I don't want, like, the forklift operator.
Right, for sure.
Vaping. Although I know that the jobs are stressful and you get your 15-minute break. But again, I think about the accident.
Right. And we're talking about, vaping at work or whatever, like these people in the survey. So we definitely don't want brain surgeons vaping at work.
Waiters. I don't know why. I just say.
You don't want a waiter?
I don't want a waiter. Like, my friend was a waitress, and she came out to the car and was smoking, and then she's oh, yeah, those are my tables there, and pointed to the window where the people were sitting, and she was out in the car with us for like 15 minutes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
People are like running out of water.
Right.
I was like, I really could use some ketchup.
Somebody's in there choking because they were hoping for water.
And one person's like, this isn't my dish. And servers take fries if they're stoned.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Waiting on the line for it, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, oh my God, that's hilarious.
They say that the whole restaurant industry is just full of drunks and druggies anyway. It's really sad.
Yeah, true.
Even the people that work in the kitchen, I've known chefs and stuff like this.
Yeah.
The big thing for them and the whole industry is, hey, we go party after work.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's, everybody. They all go out and they drink and then they stay up till the sun comes up.
Yeah, must be nice.
Right.
That's a whole different world. Okay, and in the Cannabis Chronicles, we also have some marijuana seizures.
Oh.
Look, you can smoke it in Colorado. Don't be dumb and try to risk it leaving. Like you hear from, I know cops that, or people that know cops that are like, oh no, cops watch all of the main highways leaving Colorado.
All the time.
Right, because they don't want anybody taking a bunch out.
Well, and if you have like a broken taillight, you're definitely going to get pulled over.
Oh, right, or speeding
you're
2 miles over.
For it.
Yeah,
Someone just got busted in Indiana with 30 pounds.
I think that's the one I got right here.
Well,
yep, this is the one I have.
How ironic that Kathie has a story about marijuana seizures and CBD oils cure seizures.
Isn't that crazy?
But it's not psychoactive, though. That's why.
Isn't it iconic?
Hey-o. So before we get to Indiana, there's actually one right here in the good old state of Colorado. Mm-hmm. It happened just the other day, 10:39 a.m. Maybe this is the Indiana. Okay. No, I'm sorry. The guy in Indiana was from Colorado Springs.
Oh,
okay, that's what it was. Okay, so it happened in Indiana. An Indiana state trooper pulled over a car, a brand new car, 2017 Toyota Avalon.
Ooh, okay.
Eastbound I-70. During the conversation with the driver, the trooper developed information that led to the search of a vehicle. On the rear seat was a large duffel bag containing suspected packaged marijuana. In the trunk were 3 other large duffel bags containing other types of marijuana.
So what you're saying is the duffel bag that was in the back seat was for on the road stuff.
Yeah.
I got to be able to reach that.
Yeah.
21-year-old Thomas Lee King of Colorado Springs, Colorado, was taken into custody and charged with a bunch of crap, a bunch of felonies.
Yeah, they're just looking for people that are leaving.
Yep. In all, approximately 75 pounds of marijuana, 300 vials of marijuana oil, a suspected Oxycontin narcotic painkiller tablet. Oh, just one.
Just one.
One. Estimated total street value, $337,000. And the marijuana oil, $16,000, all traveling from Colorado to Ohio.
You know what I'm going to do next time I have family that drove here and they're leaving out of town?
What?
I'm going to give them bags and bags of oregano, cilantro, parsley, and put it in duffel bags in the back of their car.
Oh, my God, that's
and
so
then watch
mean.
the cops get nothing. You know what I mean?
Right. They get nothing. Have it tested.
Right.
Test it. And that's your Cannabis Chronicles, brought to you by The Green Solution. Larry and Kathie present. Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Okay. Yes, I do. Blazing Hit Radio.
Blazing Hit Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins.
Yeah, so we got some text, 303-728-3420. Everyone's responding to the Halloween costumes, and you guys, basically, that they were saying that you can't be an opposite race. Was that what?
Well, no.
Red Book magazine put out a story saying that if your child is white, they can't be doing a costume that belongs to another culture or race.
Right, which doesn't make sense to us because the whole thing is that would mean that little black girls shouldn't think they're Frozen lady.
Yeah. Right, Elsa and Anna or Cinderella,
right,
or whatever
like
their imagination says.
Right, so your little Latino can't be Ariel.
Yeah, right, so and that's not cool.
That's stupid.
This text says, let's see if a little black girl or Hawaiian girl wants to be Cinderella. That is wrong. This is not acceptable for Red Book to say that at all. That is teaching racism, and it just makes me so mad.
Agreed. I totally agree. This one says, I agree with y'all by saying if you're not that race, you can't dress up as that character's example of how racism gets taught.
Right, but there is a difference than now if you're an adult and you're going out to ham it up in blackface. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. No, you crossed the line. Right.
Right. So you just have to know that there's a kid's innocence and their acceptance of all races is different than you appropriating somebody, and people still do it. People still will do blackface on Halloween.
Well, Julianne Hough.
Right.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
Remember, she went as crazy from...
Orange is the New Black.
Right.
Right, and so it's like she got a backlash for that. So it's like beware that you can clearly go out like that, but you might end up, if you end up at the wrong party, it could be bad.
Last year, I was at I won't say where it was, but it was a makeup store. Okay. And I was in there getting some stuff, and they had an appointment coming up for a white couple from the South that were going as Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, not cool.
Okay. So they were coming in literally to get darker makeup put on. From this makeup store.
How do you miss the blackface memo?
And it was a Latina that was going to be doing it, and I was like, "What are you doing? Why wouldn't you just say no?" And she was like, "My bosses want the money. Like I'm going, But
right.
she goes, "But as I'm talking to her, I'm going to be more than happy to explain to her.
You could get punched.
You're going to be in trouble doing this here. I don't know what you get away with in the South, but you don't do it here.
Or you purposely say, "Oh my God, I have this really cool party for you guys to come in Park Hill.
Yeah,
here's the address.
Yeah,
see you there."
Set up cameras. On the text line, look, this little girl, this mom posted a picture of her daughter Katie in her Moana costume, and Katie is a white girl, and she says, I think it's ridiculous. My daughter is obviously Moana, loves Moana.
Right.
Oh, look, she's even got the little pig with her costume.
Right.
She's adorable. Thank you for sending that in.
The chicken really stole the movie. I mean, you don't even know about the pig.
Right.
I mean, hey, come on.
No, hey was the best.
Stole the movie.
Right. I mean, the pig couldn't go on the trip.
Exactly.
He got kicked off the boat the first time she tried.
Peace.
Someone's mad on the text line at us for Cannabis Chronicles.
Right.
Saying that we shouldn't be telling their employers these things.
Oh.
Hey, again, it's still federally illegal. So if your employer drug tests, don't do it.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
You know how those people walk around and they vape the tobacco and they have a million smells? They're like, this is Fruity Pebbles. And
totally.
This is a carrot cake.
And it's like a smokestack that comes out with those things.
Exactly.
A smoke.
So I'm saying put a drop of that that in the regular marijuana, so it covers up that obvious smell.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's artificial. Like, that stuff is bad for them.
It's
for
putting
them
more
to smoke
crap.
it in. You're
Fine,
putting crap in it. It's not pure.
I'm saying if all of a sudden you had a drop of popcorn in there, then everybody in the office would think, oh, somebody made popcorn, instead of there's Marge getting high and there's that pot smell.
I think you can just add it, Larry. I think you literally, they have those drops already that are non-tobacco or whatever, and you could just add it to your bowl if you really wanted to.
Right.
Oh, really?
But they should make other smells like B.O. You know what I mean?
No,
people are like,
wants to
oh, Michelle has B.O. She's not getting high.
Hey, that would work. If I walked out to an area and smelled the B.O. or a fart or something, I immediately would be like, and go the other way. So if you were out there getting high,
nobody would know.
Way. Right, you're building an instant barrier around you.
Right, we have 3 levels of fart. This is light fart. This is heavy fart. And this is fart that pushed its way past a turd and smells like total poop.
Okay.
We were talking about people that, drive here and get marijuana and maybe leave with it.
Yeah, bad idea.
Right. So a friend of mine was in town and I was telling him, definitely don't try to leave with some because they're looking for that. He goes, oh man, I got pulled over twice on the way here by different cops. He's like, my tags are 2 years expired.
What?
He's like, I don't have my license. I don't have my license.
2 years?
How did he not get arrested?
He goes, I don't have my license and I didn't have proof of insurance, and they let him go twice.
What?
And I go, that is white privilege.
That's white privilege,
right there.
Yeah.
Stone cold white privilege.
Oh my God. You know what? Speaking of, though, the try not to leave with anything, the other day I went to Chicago.
Right.
And so I get in line for TSA and I'm hanging out and they're running the dog, through the crowd. And I've been there once before, when running the dog means they make sure that everybody is on this one side of yellow tape going down the aisle while you're in TSA, and then the dog walks down the other side of the aisle, right? And so I'm like, okay, so I come up on the lady with the canine, and I overhear her talking to the guy next to her, and they're looking at somebody up in the line in TSA ahead of me, right? Mm-hmm. And I hear her go, oh yeah, we got to run the dog past that. And I'm like, what? So as you start, winding through like a snake through the TSA line, I realized who they're talking about. There were some white dudes, but they totally had the dreadlocks, the hacky sack looking backpacks, their jeans were dirty. They totally were like profiling them. So they were the ones, and they ran the dog right next to him. And you could tell almost that she was upset the first time she went by him.
Right.
Because there wasn't any sniff coming off of him. And then she turned around and went back again. And then she went again after they got into another aisle. I was like, lady.
We know what the thing is. The dogs at the airports, though, those are bomb sniffing dogs.
Yeah, exactly. They're not even drug
They're not drug dogs.
They're not?
No. They're actually sniffing for any bomb-making materials, and that's what they're there for.
They're trained specifically not to look for marijuana.
What?
Right. Yeah. Like they're
well,
just
how do you know?
bombs.
But all dogs are different. How do you know what dog is sniffing for what?
No, they don't have drug sniffing dogs at our airports, like in Colombia.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Are
but
you
ours
kidding?
is definitely bomb sniffing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If she was profiling, maybe like it was the guy in the turban behind the stoner.
Yeah.
Or maybe there was somebody right next to him and I was stuck looking at them and didn't realize the murderer was right behind him.
Right. Well, and then it's like Chris uses this oil on his beard that sets off that
the alarm
sensor every time. So like I'm just waiting for some dog to just jump on his face and attack. Because we've been derailed twice where it took like more than 30 minutes for Chris to get taken in a room and once over. Yeah.
And then they're all like, oh, your beard is really
so shiny
nice.
and
Right, it is. I mean, beautiful. I mean, you're so handsome.
Sorry you missed your flight.
Kathie, today's stupid news is coming up. What do you got?
So we got some poachers in a cemetery.
Ooh, what are you poaching in a cemetery?
Well, it's Halloween and,
okay.
Or were they?
Oh.
That's coming up next.
I don't care what they say about me.
And now,
I go dumb, I go stupid, I get crazy. Come on and clap.
it's Kathie J's Stupid News.
A lady tries to steal a frying pan by hiding it in her pants. Her skin-tight yoga pants.
Okay.
I mean, they obviously are going to see that.
Right. Like, hey, pan ass.
Right.
Did you put it in the front or the back?
A 29-year-old lady named Sierra. She was at an IKEA in St. Louis back
This beat is automatic.
funky fresh. She tried to steal a large frying pan, not just a small one. She went for the large. I mean, if you're going to go do it, right?
And then if you put it in your back of your pants and as you're running away, they shoot you, it bounces off. You know what I mean? It ricochets the bullets.
Ting, ting. That's awesome. It was in her skin-tight yoga pants, and she did shove it down her back.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Ting, ting.
She's making rump roast.
2 employees saw a clear outline of the frying pan and confronted her in the parking lot. And somebody
ass! Stop! Pan ass! She's all, yes?
There is video. We'll get it up on our Facebook page. You can still see the pan, her pan ass sticking out.
They scared her so much that now the pan's full. Now you're going to have to just put that on medium high for 30 minutes and stir constantly.
Okay, this happened in December, but she's in the news now because she didn't show up for her court date.
They're all, hey, did pan ass show up?
Right. Anybody see pan ass? We're looking for a big ass.
A lot of people get stuff, they steal a ton of stuff in pants, but not tight pants.
Right. Officers chased down suspected poachers in a cemetery. Turns out they were Ghostbusters.
Real ones?
Real Ghostbusters. Is there such a thing as
Well, I mean,
real
if you have that little ambulance in the outfits.
Right, true. Right. Or your own TV show.
Right.
Yeah. 2 officers from Minnesota, they were out patrolling for deer poachers in Minnesota Saturday night, and they saw 2 people with bright lights hanging out in the cemetery. They'd gotten reports of people illegally shining lights looking for deer, so the officers swarmed in on them, thinking that they were poachers for the deer.
Swarm!
Yeah. Suspects took off. When the officers finally tracked them down, they found out they weren't poachers at all. They were 2 ladies in their late 30s who were trying to be Ghostbusters.
We're out here reading the Satanic Bible.
Yeah. We're asking for demons to come in.
We're conjuring up spirits.
They admitted they were looking for ghosts in the cemetery, and they ran because they didn't want the officers to make fun of them.
Okay, too late.
They wound up not getting a ticket.
That sounds like an episode of Stranger Things.
Right, exactly. I bet you they did see something.
You liking it, Larry? You liking Stranger Things?
Yeah, I'm already caught up. I'm waiting for the next one.
Yep, Friday.
Speaking of Larry, coming up, I have something, the rules to keep things from being a spoiler.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
we've been accused of that.
You have.
We have.
You have.
Whatever.
I think you all have.
No, it's him. And finally, Boulder. Yeah, we like getting stories out of Boulder. Stranger enters a Boulder home and wakes up the residents by playing their guitar. Only in Boulder.
Yeah, stoner, white privilege.
Guy got arrested in Boulder. The couple said they didn't know him, and they found him playing a guitar in their living room in the middle of the night. Richard Shepard is 28 years old. He got arrested for burglary and criminal trespass. Now, here's the thing. The couple, it was nighttime. It was actually Sunday, about 2:30 a.m. So right after Saturday night, you were drinking.
Exactly.
Yeah. They heard a thump, and their dog started to growl. The male resident told police he walked downstairs and encountered another male wearing a maroon stocking cap, playing the guitar on his couch. The resident said hello, and the intruder responded, hey, I live across the street, before handing over the guitar and saying, sorry, and then walked out the door and walked across the street.
He's all, by the way, you're out of milk. What?
The residents told police he didn't appear drunk or high or anything.
Huh.
Yeah, he was on something.
Yeah, for sure. Like, sometimes people are high and they just wander in the wrong house.
Yeah.
Right.
They think it's their friends.
And then you're like, sober up, get the hell out of here. The residents called police. Officers found the guy, Richard Shepard. He walking a couple blocks away. He said he'd been drinking earlier in the night, was trying to make his way back to his van down by the river. No, it's on the university's campus,
okay,
though.
So
still, yeah. He told police he lived on 12th Street. Police noted in the report he wasn't close to either location. He doesn't live anywhere. The people left their house unlocked.
Okay, that's stupid.
It's stupid, yeah.
Yeah, and they found a tube of pink lipstick on Richard.
Huh.
But nothing, he didn't steal anything but lipstick?
No.
It's like, dude, where's my car? But like for a stoner, you know?
I don't know.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, he sang beautifully.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
He's very talented. He should get a record contract.
We're going to have him back for Christmas.
Right.
Wake up in the morning.
Larry and Kathie's Blazing Hit Radio.
Weekday mornings, 5 to 10.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, Larry. Like that time you told everybody about Han Solo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Han Solo dies.
No, I was kind of ruined by that. I think no, I was at that point, and because I hadn't seen it yet. It took me forever to see it. That ruined it. But then someone purposefully pasted a sticker on the back of their Jeep that says Han Solo dies.
Oh.
And so that I saw that on Facebook before Larry said it, but I do remember that.
Yeah, so that guy's the real jerk.
No, you were too. And I remember something else happened, and you were like, "That was 2 nights ago. We can talk about it." And
No, but I mean, I'm better now. I know that there's I was conscious of it when we were talking about Stranger Things, about talking about certain things, because, I mean, what is the timeline where you can talk about things? Because Stranger Things has been out a long time.
Right.
But I just watched it too, so I get it.
Right.
People watch at their own pace or their own time, or they discover these shows later, so yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I'm the bad guy.
You are the bad guy, but it's okay because I have some rules that you and everyone else can follow regarding spoilers.
I know what you're saying.
What?
Say the spoiler in Spanish. And then only ruin it for bilingual people.
That's nice. That's really thoughtful.
Sure.
Okay, so, Stranger Things is coming back.
I want to do a
Friday.
porno. I want to do a porno based on it called Stranger's Thing.
I'm shocked that hasn't been done already.
That's right.
I'm sure that's been done.
Larry, you ever want to be with a
And
stranger's
it's like
thing?
some weird alien octopus thing coming through the dark at you.
Right, it comes through the wall.
Yeah, right.
Like through a glory hole, but it's like
Stranger's
it has
thing.
Christmas lights around it.
Oh my God.
Okay, so.
And then, Winona Ryder's it.
Yeah.
This all right.
Here's a bunch of rules, everybody, that we should all be following when it comes to the spoilers. These are the top 6 I'm going to give you.
I better write these down.
Yeah, you
Especially
should.
for Friday, because that's when Stranger Things comes out.
Exactly.
And some people will watch the whole thing.
And Walking Dead just happened Sunday night, which it was so good.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, that one part.
Don't do it, Kathie. Don't be mean.
Oh, my God.
Are you talking about where the guy takes the bat to the face?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, my God. Okay.
That was a good guess, though, Larry.
Kayla does that to me. My wife, she will just say, because she doesn't like certain shows and maybe it's Walking Dead, so she'll just make something up. She'll, in this episode, Rick dies. I saw it already. And she's all she'll just ruin it for me. And then the whole time I'm like, maybe she is telling the truth. Sometimes she does tell the truth about
Rick,
that.
don't go over there, Rick.
Sometimes my wife does tell the truth. Okay, so here's the thing, everybody. Number 1. Shut up. Shut up for at least 24 hours after a show airs.
Okay.
You got to give people at least a day to watch it before you start blabbing, and that's even online.
Okay, and so I would think that would still be too soon for us.
Yes, they said even after that, don't mention any of the bigger twists. If you have to post something, please always top it in caps, spoiler alert.
Right.
Okay? For shows that you binge watch, like Stranger Things.
Which, are we going to do a speed binge watch that?
A lot of people are going to try.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so they say, this rule, Larry, don't expect to talk about it for 10 days.
Okay.
You got to give people, at least a little over a week to go do a whole season.
Okay, so not like in a couple weeks you'll hear me go, so that kid's teeth grew out. His little kid's teeth, they fully formed.
Yeah.
No?
When you talk about spoilers in public, use your inside voice. So whether it's a show or a movie, assume that people around you haven't seen it.
For sure. And because the last thing you want to do is come around the corner and then they're like, and then Bob's killed.
Right.
And you're like, whoa.
What? Bob got killed.
Right.
Right. Because wasn't there somebody that honestly was trying to avoid hearing who won the election?
Oh,
The
my God.
election?
Remember we had heard
You'd
that?
have to live in a cabin.
They
in the
weren't,
woods.
yeah, like they refused. They took like cable, everything. They cut it all off, and they didn't want to hear.
Yeah, they're somewhere in the hills living in bliss.
Yeah,
not
right.
knowing what happened. They're all, I'm sure Hillary's doing a great
Right,
job.
I'm sure she's fine.
Remember the last episode of Breaking Bad? That's probably what he's like, just in a cabin somewhere, a pile of money stocked up, doesn't leave his house ever.
Right, with his cool hat.
Coughing blood.
Oh yeah, that's the bad thing. Yeah. Number 4 of the things that the rules that we should all be following when it comes to spoilers. Don't be overly sensitive about vague statements that aren't really spoilers. Like if someone says, man, that was a crazy episode.
Don't say anything.
Don't act like they completely ruined it for you.
Right.
Okay.
So don't be ultra sensitive on the other end.
Right. Reality shows and game shows don't count. You're kind of expected to watch things like The Bachelor and The Voice the night they air. If you don't, it's on you. Don't get mad if somebody actually spoils a really old show like Friends or when you were watching Breaking Bad
way later. If
somebody would have done a spoiler to you,
that's on me.
You couldn't have been mad.
Right. So, and I think that these rules definitely apply to us, but a little bit longer because we can't go on the next day or give it 24 hours because there's still a bunch of people that have in their DVR.
Right.
And so we have to be super careful.
Right. So maybe when will you watch Walking Dead? When can we talk about that?
I like to have 2 or 3 episodes in the DVR.
Oh.
Just because then I can watch them back to back.
I get that, but I can't wait 2 or 3 weeks with you.
I can't stand having to wait a whole week. Like, I could do it on shows like The Challenge on MTV, Larry, and things like that. But if it's an episodic series, I have the worst time waiting a week and then remembering, well, what the heck happened last week?
Well, that's why some shows are cool and go,
here's what happened
last week, and they recap your dumbass.
All smart shows do.
Right, exactly.
This one says, and the 6th thing is plan ahead for things you really care about. You're ultimately the one responsible for making sure no one spoils your favorite show for you.
So get some earplugs and a Darth Vader mask.
So if that's important, clear your calendar and make sure you have time to watch it the day it airs, because most likely someone is going to get a spoiler past you and ruin it for you.
Hashtag Han Solo dies.
Man,
everybody saw that.
No, we don't. But
everybody saw that.
When you threw that out, it was only like a month after the movie came out, right?
Yeah.
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, you are. We won't let you forget it.
Spoiler alert. Blazing It Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins. Don't forget to join Kathie J. at Larry H. Miller Nissan, Lucid and C470 this Saturday from 11 to 1. Upgrade your vehicle already. They have some great deals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. My friend Rick is like, you know what? It's so much nicer to drive to work and not worry about, is my car going to stall? Is the heater going to work? Are my tires good?
Right.
He's like, it's just so much better. It's just taking the stress away before you get to work is so helpful.
It frees that stress to leave so you can be stressed out about other things.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Including Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, God.
I wanted to talk about this. This, I guess, would be a Celebrity Trash and Bash Extra because we didn't really talk about the news that came out after we got off the air yesterday about...
I didn't hear this yet.
Okay.
You don't want to do this as a trash and bash? You want to just get into it?
Yeah, I just thought we would just do it as a one-off.
Okay, then. Go ahead.
It's Harvey Weinstein is a vampire.
He's disgusting.
So, yeah, there was a girl that worked for him. And she was an assistant there, or she worked actually at Miramax or whatever.
Yeah.
And he'd been like, hey, let's hang out, whatever. And
the normal thing, come to my room.
Right. And then he's like, hey, I want to take you to Paris.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. She's like, not really sure I'd want to go there. It sounds like more of a romantic kind of thing. And then he pressured her into sex, and she tried to use hey, it's that time for me, and he didn't care.
Right.
And then he went ahead and did the vampire thing, and then he had the nerve to say to her, don't you think that we're closer now?
Ew.
They call it Red Wings. It's not, I don't understand.
I don't think we had to say that.
I read the story wrong.
Okay.
I thought it was, she said that as the excuse, so he made her give him.
No. He went there, and then he also, he he went there.
Ew.
And she was just like devastated. You know what I mean?
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, right. And so there's that. Then as long as we're talking about him, there was the other actress that came out yesterday.
Okay.
Dominique Hewitt. She's now suing the Weinstein Company because Harvey assaulted her, and she said everybody knew his game in the company.
Wow.
Well, it was in his contract. Yeah.
Right. They knew
they're not going to write down the contract unless...
So her story is just like everybody else's. She had to go meet him at a hotel. He demanded a massage and then forced...
He's so stale. He's so unoriginal. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, if he has access to all the Hollywood stuff, I'd be like, and then he made me go into this room where there was the car from Back to the Future. And I was so excited. I made love to him on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
see?
That's exciting.
Take a ride in my DeLorean.
It's like, we did it in a TIE fighter on the set of Star Wars.
Okay, no, I even might be willing to do that. Right. Dominique filed the lawsuit. She says that Harvey met her in November of 2010 at a hotel bar, told her he could help her with her acting career. He was staring at her
He's all,
breasts.
I'm going to teach you how to act like you're grossed out.
Yeah, totally. Asked if she ever had them done, and then asked if she'd show them to him. Then he said, wow, your career's not going to be all that good if you don't have implants. Then he invited her to his room under the guise of a business meeting. Heard this one before?
Right, but I mean, after he's already been doing this stuff, it's her bad for going up. You know what I mean? Like, if he's already like...
Oh, he's already told you about your... Right, true. Like you already got... The gist of him
the red flag was
in the
right
bar.
in your face. Right.
That's true. Right. So then she says that they get up to the room, he goes to the bathroom, comes out in his robe. He asked her to give him a massage, and she said no. He laid on the bed and demanded one. She ultimately complied and then asked if...
He sounds like he just throws hissy fits. So there's this grown man, 400 pounds, in a robe that's like, you will give me a massage.
Is it my fupa?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he... It is your fupa. And your weird face.
Right.
And your lazy eye.
Right.
And your... Yeah. You think with all that money, he would have...
Yeah.
Done
got a trainer?
Something.
Well, or just, like had some lasers done on his skin.
Right, exactly. Well, and then it was crazy because Cate Blanchett came out and said, hey, just because we dress sexy doesn't mean that's a come on.
Right.
And the women in that industry, that's kind of the thing, that to dress like kind of hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then she put out there, she also said, hey, to all the Weinsteins out there, no, we don't want to blank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was Cate Blanchett's quote. That's awesome. So now she's suing him, that and then Wiggins, you were talking about his honeypots, the female employees that he would use to invite
lure
other
people up there,
to get other women to go up there.
And then they would vanish.
False sense of security.
Yeah, they are definitely should be in trouble too.
They're listed in this lawsuit by this girl.
It's entrapment.
Yeah, totally.
Collusion, whatever.
Well, they say that, some horrible people, pedophiles and stuff, will use a kid to get the other kid.
Oh, that's terrible.
To lure in another kid.
Right.
Because the kid might think it's safe to get in the car if they see another kid in there.
Well, this was your horrific Celebrity Trash Bash Extra.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks for doing this.
Brought to you by the Bloody Mary drink.
So on the text line 303-728-3420, we were talking about this a while ago, but we have so many texts coming in. I just saw this one. It was about the dogs we were talking about at the airport.
Right, like a drug sniffing versus bomb sniffing.
Right, remember you said they only had bomb sniffing out there?
Right.
Somebody wanted to clarify for that. Larry, there are 3 types of dogs out there at the airport. They do have the bomb sniffing, but they also have drug-specific dogs, and then they have the stress and anxiety dogs that you find on the concourses to help passengers when they're worried. Okay, he worked 7 years in security, and he said that...
Great, I've been walking around with kilos of marijuana and cocaine strapped to my chest and heroin, giving those little dogs a pat.
Be glad that you always got the bomb sniffing dog, right?
Yeah.
But I love the ambassadors for the stress and anxiety. You haven't? They have like 50. I think it's like 50 some dogs, and it's private owners and their dog.
Okay.
And they have them on this schedule, so some of them will come, these hours of the day, or they go to this concourse. So there's one like getting covered everywhere.
It's funny too because I just saw on Fox 31 they were talking about how when people have service dogs, you can't just go up and pet them.
No,
you have to ask permission.
Right.
And so I recently saw this guy with a service dog at Green Solution, and I was like, hey, can I pet your dog? And he's all, for sure. And the dog knew that he got permission, so he immediately fell to his belly, on his back, and gave me his belly. So I was like, that is so cool. So then I was at King Soopers, and there was a lady with a service dog in front of me, and she's dressed really nice. This she just came from church or something.
Okay.
And I was like, I just saw this thing on Fox 31 how you're supposed to ask permission. And she's all, oh yes, you're supposed to ask. And I was like, oh cool, can I pet your dog? And she's all, no. I was like,
say that?
I was like, oh, I guess okay. I was like, is it because
it's working?
Well, yeah, I was
your dog's working right now.
Right. And I was like, is it more of a if the more people that come and pet them, the less they are of what they do?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. She's like, it's not really that, but she's like, they just had a grandbaby, and so he's all thrown off by that.
Oh.
So now he's obsessed with babies.
Gotcha.
And she's trying to keep him just in the mode of helping.
Right.
So this text came in, and it explains how those dogs work. So if TSA has the dog, it's bomb sniffing. If Denver Police has the dog, it's drug sniffing. If Denver Airport Ambassador has the dog, it's for stress.
Oh, Oh, that makes sense. So look at who the handler is.
Look at who the handler is.
And
then that's when you start to freak out.
I know.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, this would have been, the other day, then it would have been a bomb sniffing because it was TSA, not Denver.
Well, and then it's like, those dogs talk to each other.
Right.
So, like, the nice dog that you're petting is like, hey, this person has drugs. I better tell that other dog.
Yeah, right. So now we know.
Now you know.
Okay, so you guys, did you get a chance to go up and look at the trees turning the leaves?
You sound so annoyed by that. You're all the trees and the colors.
Were you one of those people that had to go and look at the fall colors?
Loser.
The best part was Chris kept insisting on it. He kept pushing for it.
Right.
We got to go see the mountains. Da da da. So the day he finally made it happen, me and my cousin, and he loaded up the car. We had 5 people in the car. We're driving up there. And we hit Evergreen, and it's all fog. You can't see one tree. And we even went into the city of Evergreen. Couldn't see it. Couldn't even see the lake. There was so much fog. So we ate, and then we went back home and didn't see one tree.
Was that the day that Wiggins and I were waiting for you? Was that? Oh, I don't
know.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a thing here. The Rocky Mountain National Park is now going to be charging people $70 if you want to go into the park. It was $25 a car. That's what I paid last year.
Okay, so wait a minute.
But just to drive around, it's not even like you're camping or anything.
Right.
All right, let's back up. Since you wanted to bring up, isn't that the day you were waiting for me? I can't count how many days I've waited for you. And I even said that because I remember that day you were kind of wanted to give me some attitude about having to wait for me. And then I said, but I'd wait for you endless times and countless times. And you were like, okay, you're right.
Right.
So the fact that you wanted to jab me right now, well, thanks.
Okay, but that was the time we were waiting for you.
Yeah, but I mean...
I don't think we waited. I just don't think you came that day.
Right, and I had already gotten permission from the powers that be that I would not be on that call, but I mean,
clearly. We didn't know. We didn't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Whatever. I guess if we're going to bring up work stuff, I can do that all day.
Well, I just thought you would have laughed and kept moving. I didn't know you were going to get so sad about it.
But I mean, it was weird. It was really awkward how you just threw it in there, and it was just crickets, and then
I didn't know what to say.
Right. Well, because Wiggins didn't want to get yelled at, and I realized that you were now going to get serious
we wait
about
for
it.
everyone because we wait for everyone. We wait for Kathy. We wait for me. We just do it.
And then we all know that's the deal.
Right.
So,
but if you would have ever said, "Isn't that the day we were waiting for you?" I would have been like, "Yeah, probably. Sorry." But you get really offended, and now you're going to pull it out.
No, I mean it's there's a way of throwing something out there where it's funny and it lands, and then there's a way of doing it
well, it could have landed if the people receiving it would have just laughed it off, but you didn't.
But we already had that conversation.
Right.
And we realized that we all wait for each other, so that really jabbed it wasn't necessary.
Everyone is late. Kathy, you're late. I'm
all
late.
The time.
We're all late.
More times I've waited for you than this one time that I missed one phone call.
Here's the thing.
Again, I was hoping you were going to laugh it off. Didn't know you were going to get
I'm just super scared when we turn off the mics. I might get hit.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not going to get hit. You won't get hit.
It's fine. We're all late. That's the moral of the story.
I had to turn back because it was just laying out there in a weird way.
Okay, we're going on.
It was what I did. You're the one who threw it out there.
That's what you do. I should have known you can't just laugh and keep moving when you get
funny. It wasn't even laid out in a funny way.
It's okay. All right. We're all late. We can't yell at anyone.
I take the hit when you guys throw it at me.
And I don't. Every single time I just take it. I don't give you crap for it.
I never get to give you hits. I gave you because this happened.
But we can give you hits. You give me hits. Everyone can get hits.
I would definitely even give me more of a pass since it never happens. But whatever.
We're all late. That's all that matters. We're arguing about we're all late.
Sometimes I leave right when I'm supposed to be somewhere. Of course I'm late. So everybody, Rocky Mountain National Park, $70 for you to get into the park. And that is, like Wiggins said, just to drive into the park.
Right. And then it's like they shot the price up because it used to be $30 to go in.
There were so many people going in that they had to come up with something.
Right, because of all the roads getting... They're just saying there's a bunch of people that are now all of a sudden nature lovers.
Well, Colorado's just exploded with the population. So it's like you can't go up there. And then that's why the Hidden Lake got destroyed. And then they shut that down and they had to do the things. So it's like you're not paying $70 and then it's like, we just made all this money. You're paying that money to
preserve.
And fix everything that we're destroying.
So 4.5 million people visited Rocky Mountain National Park this year, making it one of the most visited in the country.
Is that Yellowstone? Does that include that or no?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay. No, but I did just read something on Yellowstone, side note, that if that volcano blows, we're all gone.
For sure. That's our doom. That's our Independence Day, because they say by the time we tried to run away from it, we'd hit Castle Rock and get trapped and then just breathe ash and die.
Right.
You have to have a prepare kit. I'm really beginning to think that's
you
crazy.
Know, like, go to the,
you do.
Right.
You need to have the Army
surplus, the mask.
You laugh right back. You should have got one, Larry.
I understand.
I'm so sorry, Larry.
Get it. But I think it's going to be so much ash that we can't escape it.
Right. They said it's more than Mount St. Helen.
Right.
That's why you got to have the food. You got to have a little bomb shelter.
Do you have that?
I'm saving and prepping.
He doesn't.
You got to go to Costco.
First,
they already hooked it up for you.
I had to get the truck that gets me up to the mountains.
Right. That's true. Right. Because you do got to go to the mountains.
Yeah, but if you don't have a plot of land with some food and a hole in it.
How many times have I said we all need some land together?
If we all pitch
and then there's a bomb. We build.
Just breathe in the ash like me and die.
Oh, Larry.
It's going to hurt anyway. And then it's going to block the sun from coming through, so it'll be like a nuclear winter.
That's true, and that won't be good. And you're definitely not going to have any of your electronics, Wiggins, and I don't know what you're going to do without that.
So you really don't need the food and all that other stuff. You just need a gun to put in your mouth.
No, that's lovely. That's good.
I'm just I watch those movies.
Well, then you should get the prep kit.
So here it is. The proposal in question wants to raise peak season entrance fees at not just Rocky Mountain National, but at 16 other popular parks in the nation. So the busiest 5 months of the year, it would cost $70 a car to get into the park, $50 for a motorcycle, $30 per person. As it stands right now, it's just $30 to get into Rocky Mountain National Park, $10 for pedestrians.
So that's such a huge,
it's a huge jump.
Increase. Yeah, and it's like, so if you walk in, it's 30 as a person.
Yeah, which it used to be 10.
That's like going to Disney without any rides.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I could do that. So they said a lot of people, visitors, are like, we came from Michigan. If it was a one-day pass for $70, I don't think we'd go.
Well, and that's the thing, because you can actually pay. They say that you'll be able to pay $70 or a little more than that to get an annual pass.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
You can do that. But if you're paying $70 to get into Rocky Mountain National Park, 80% of it will stay there. 20% of it goes to other national parks across the country. So it's helping other,
right.
But
I'm saying if we're having to pay $70 a car, at least have a toilet that's more than just a hole in the ground.
True. Right? I'm going to expect some amenities to be improved.
Right.
Right, exactly. And I'll need Wi-Fi.
Right.
Because I need to get my pictures out ASAP.
Chris and I went to Yellowstone and did the worst idea ever, rented a convertible and drove around for the whole day and came back red as beans. My face peeled for weeks. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Blazing Hit Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie, Jay Wiggins.
Yep.
Apparently, people on the text line like to hear us fight, Kathie.
Okay. We weren't fighting. We were just having a discussion.
They love the music. They love that there's less commercials. And they love us fighting. Well, you two fighting.
Well, here we go, then.
Oh, no,
we will now talk about abortion. I will be anti. Kathie will be pro.
No.
It has to be a real fight.
We gotta get a real fight.
Bring some dirt up to the table.
Give some real something going on.
Listen, I don't care what y'all do with your uterus. It's yours.
Right. See, that was easy.
That's why you're Democrat. Yeah,
right.
There you go.
Hey, so thanks, guys, for the fact that you like to hear us fight.
You know what?
We've had some epic fights over the years.
Yeah, but some people don't know because you guys are so good that it'll be like, mics are on, and this is Cash and Bash today.
Right.
And
that's called being professional.
True, right. But there were times that the fights went out on the air. Remember, we had to do People's Court for a couple of them.
Well, and remember when the guy we used to work with, he cut his hand.
Yeah, breaking up a fight between us. We weren't physically fighting. We were just yelling, and
he slammed his hand down on the ground.
Slammed his hand right between the two of us on the table and totally cut his hand.
To watch him freak out made us instantly bond and not fight anymore.
We just started laughing.
We were just what a weirdo.
Like a brother and sister. We were like, oh, that was weird.
It was that silence, and then...
Right. Stop it.
Plus, Kathie, if you think we fight good, you should see our makeup sex. It's non-existent.
It's non-existent. Oh, my God. Hey, so somebody was also asking about the weather tomorrow. So the weather, it is like what you see. It's going to be very cold the next couple of days. So today's going to be
88.
Today's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Today's
Tomorrow, Thursday.
Tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. The temperatures are going to drop, especially overnight. And during the day, it's going to be wet with a chance of snow. Colder tomorrow with rain and snow. A few flurries on Friday, but... Your husband, Greg Dutra, Larry.
He's not my husband. He's my broham.
Okay, your broham. Bro
He's
ham.
my buddy.
Jeez. He said that, remember with the snow we had a couple weeks ago? Mm-hmm. It won't be that heavy.
Okay.
But it's going to be flurries.
But what about Tuesday when people go trick-or-treating?
Right. Well, if you're new to Colorado...
You go as a coat.
Exactly. If you're not new to Colorado, then you probably have to have a coat anyway.
I remember.
I have so many pictures of me in my Halloween costumes with coats.
And it's so frustrating because that's your day as a kid. It's that's as exciting as your birthday. I remember being in my costume, and then my costume had to be covered up. It's like, well, I just look like a kid in a coat now,
exactly
bringing people's doors, and it's freezing out, and I don't even look good. I was like, this is stupid.
Right.
I'm so bummed that I didn't get that thing, because that, of all the things, Christmas is pretty major.
Yeah.
But that, to me, looked the most fun from my Jehovah's Witness vantage point.
The trick-or-treating?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at school, everybody would come in an outfit, and it was just like, whoa, that's cool.
And you have a big imagination, so I'm sure you would have loved to have been Darth Vader or something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then, my sad thing was, I have a towel as a cape and no Darth Vader hat.
Yeah.
So
I have to go with whatever's around my house. I made this box and painted it black.
I was raised in a cult.
Did you have to wear the tie and all that stuff? That's different.
No, that's
religion,
Mormon.
right?
That's Mormon.
Oh, okay, because I was like, you could have went as that.
You could have just been the Mormon.
Me and my sister would go look out the window and watch all the kids, because our house, all the lights would be off.
I know.
And so the doorbell would ring, and we'd never answer it, but we'd just sit there and look. Oh, look, there's a nurse. There's a bee.
Oh, that must have been so hard as a kid.
How do you do that as a parent?
That must have, right?
Yeah.
Get away from that window.
Right. Well,
there's goblins and monsters out there.
Exactly. The devil's outside.
That's their angle.
Really?
Their
Is that
angle
what they say?
is look, they gave a platform to bad and evil, and
but now you see, it's just fun.
Right, exactly.
It's good humor. Well, you're gonna be able to walk the girls around your neighborhood,
yeah.
right?
And guess what? This year, I'm going as a Jehovah's Witness.
Ding dong.
Got the Watchtower, the Awake.
But for Halloween night, rain and snow showers are possible as of this moment, but a lot could change in the next 5 days.
Yeah, let's have
keep
that
our fingers
change.
crossed. Yeah, definitely. All right, so coming up next in, I'm not telling you now.
Yeah, we're not. We'll tell them here in a little bit.
All right. Then,
okay, we'll just end this break by saying Greg Dutra calls me Lair Bear.
All right.
Because he's your bro ham.
I think we should have ended with a fight. That would have got the ratings back up.
Now I'm starving. I want some bro ham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There he is right there on TV.
Wow, he looks so good. It's like, so that's what a suit looks like when it's buttoned.
Right? Huh.
Right.
Oh, that looks amazing. I have to get into Mariah Carey again.
Oh, what's her latest?
Well, she was being a diva at some show she was performing at. You have to hear what she told the audience.
Is there anything sadder than an aging diva?
Oh, so sad.
That's next.
And now,
I know you guys are gonna photograph me. I know it makes a cool photo. I got a cool ass car. I got a dope ass outfit on. It's all good.
Celebrity Trash Bash.
With Larry, Kathie, and Wiggins.
here's Kathie J.
Bill Murray. Bill Murray's...
Love him.
I love him, too. Did you see somebody got him to do an engagement announcement?
At the Chicago game.
Oh, how lucky were they?
Do you guys have the Chive app? It's a page that it's a kind of a stoner straight guy thing.
Okay, yeah.
And so they'll usually have here's 50 random images of chicks in their cleavage, and stuff like that. So he's real big on that site.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. It's he's their mascot, or
his image just is on shirts and it's on hats. Just in general, it's on Tribe, yeah. But I mean, just in general,
I know, but
he's a cult, cult following.
Wow, I didn't know that.
No, it's insane.
So Bill Murray was selling his autograph for donations to Puerto Rico. He was in Washington, D.C. Sunday, and he was there to present David Letterman with the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. So while he was there, he decided to do a little good. So the paparazzi spotted him signing autographs for fans, but they weren't for free. He was outside signing in exchange for donations to Puerto Rico, $20 minimum for his autograph.
Hell yeah.
So here's the funny thing. Paparazzi got him talking, and so one fan tried to hand him $3 for an autograph, and Bill Murray wasn't having it. Bill Murray said, $3? Go get a job and come back.
Yeah, that guy's legendary.
Totally. He can say whatever he wants to anybody.
And it's his career is never ending. It's there's so many funny things. We were watching Charlie's Angels, the movie.
Right.
And he was so funny in that.
Bosley.
Yeah.
He doesn't really age much. I mean, you can tell he's getting older,
because he's always looked old.
Right.
He's always looked old.
When he was 20, he looked 50.
Exactly. So 2 Chainz just put out Pretty Girls Like Trap Music 4 months months ago, but he's already working on his next project. He's got a new album on the way. He says that he's farther than he thought he was. And then he said, nah, I'm lying. But I got some stuff brewing. Didn't reveal details. No word on a title or any features. But for all of you that like 2 Chainz, he's coming soon.
We met him. He was nice.
Yeah, he was really nice.
2 Chainz.
Drake threw himself a bar mitzvah themed 31st birthday party.
Is she Jewish?
Drake?
Oh, yeah, that does
Drake.
Huh? I thought you said, is she Jewish?
Oh, is he Jewish?
Yeah, you did say she.
I did?
You did. That's why I was all she.
Who's she?
Dreidel, Drake.
Maybe I meant he, and then the she came, I don't know.
All right, well, Drake kicked off the evening at the Catch LA rooftop, where he arrived through the private entrance with a few close friends and family, as well as his father. Got to have his R&B father there.
Everybody's got an R&B dad.
Smooth daddy. And his daddy was decked out in a shiny blue blazer.
Have you seen his dad? Pictures of his dad?
Oh, yeah. Remember he released that album?
Yeah,
right. That's why I said the R&B.
Yeah.
Right.
So is he Jewish?
He
said bar mitzvah.
Yeah, I did.
I think he is.
Oh, okay.
I think he is.
He's half Jewish.
Half Canadian.
Yes.
Okay.
So then he moved the party to the nightclub.
Okay.
Where he did a 31 going on 13 themed soiree, which is kind of funny because that's like one of my favorite movies. 30 going on 13.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's a Jennifer Garner
movie. Where they do the thriller dance.
So he did 31 going on 13 themed soiree, and he had pizza boxes with his picture on them, a basketball photo booth, an ice hockey dance floor. There were bar mitzvah cups. He had Leo there. Leo! Jamie Foxx was there. Tommy McGuire, G-Eazy, Lamar Odom.
Hey, Lamar got invited
Lamar's
somewhere.
There.
I saw him on the red carpet.
Odell Beckham was there, limping around. And Kelly Rowland was even there.
Huh.
Then Drake was surprised with 31 bottles of champagne and a singing performance by his dad.
Right, Kelly Rowland brought out the champagne.
Oh.
Because that's where she works.
She's got money, Larry.
She had the big sparkler on it.
Happy birthday.
Right.
Yes, he also had Dippin' Dots there. That sounds like a party I would have liked.
Hey, we've hosted a couple of bar mitzvahs, and that's how they do.
Man, they go all out. To the Sapkins, that's still one of the coolest memories I'll ever have.
Exactly.
Is helping you and your family.
Well, they threw me my bar mitzvah, too, and it was very special.
I barely remember this. I remember him being hilarious, but this is him on Saturday Night Live.
When he did his own bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Budweiser commercial. It's 1999. I'm 13. That's hilarious. As a man, I'd like to announce that I will now be called Drake. I'm sorry, Dracob.
Samuel Jackson is teaching an online acting class.
Okay. That's so he doesn't have to meet you.
Right, which I guess that would be a lot less intimidating as a student.
Right, to try to do a scene.
Yeah.
He's all, now you try.
Right.
It's the wallet that says badass MFer. Cut.
It'll consist of more than 20 video lessons and a downloadable workbook. Costs $90 for his online acting class.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you. Now you try.
Say what?
Say what again?
What?
I dare you. I double dare you. I'm tagging.
It's being offered through Masterclass, which has already done similar seminars with Steve Martin, Dustin Hoffman, Kevin Spacey, and Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I've seen those
cool.
You haven't seen those on Facebook? They have I thought it was a joke at first, but they literally get on there and they say, "Hey, if you want to join my acting class," and you can watch them online.
Right.
But I thought it was a total parody, Funny or Die.
No, it's real. And he says he's only going to answer the questions that he wants to answer.
Right, because people will ask dumb things.
Totally. He said, I hope students learn that there's no limit to what they can make believe. By the end, they'll be able to walk into a room, present their best self, and be happy with the results.
Say what again?
Yeah, right.
Say what again? I dare you. May I have a sip of your tasty beverage?
Yeah, whatever you want. And somebody that could use some acting classes, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, remember she did that one role in a movie where she did no makeup?
Precious.
Oh, Precious.
Yeah.
And also, was it Django? No, she was in the beginning, 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that
one movie
the one you already said. You just said it.
Django.
No, before that.
Oh, Precious.
Precious, yeah. She had a role in that where it almost looked like she was going to kind of go a serious acting route because she had no makeup and she was like kind of did a good job.
Right. And I thought, wow, finally, he got something good at Daniel Butler.
Right. And it's like,
wasn't that his?
And for her to pull off any role is just stop being glamorous.
Right.
And you already look like a different person.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, Mariah Carey was her diva self at a private dinner for Karl Lagerfeld over the weekend.
He's that weird guy that like always wears the same suit and he's got a black fan and he wears gloves and it's like a white shirt with a vampire collar and a tight black jacket.
Right, and then his hair is almost like back in the day when George Washington used to put it up in a wear that
white ponytail and a bun.
That's Karl Lagerfeld.
Right.
So it was at the Boom 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 Room. In front of a bunch of guests. Naomi Campbell was there, Gigi and Bella Hadid. So they were all there. And she actually said and requested and made all photographers move to the left side of the room because that is how she prefers to be shot. That's the angle that she prefers when she performs.
You know what's so sad about that? I remember seeing an interview with her years ago, and she was talking to Oprah or something about how traumatic the first initial photographers and stuff were to her.
Oh.
Like they were like, when she started getting into business, they're like, let's move the camera over here because she looks better. And so she got this in her head that she only looks good from this side.
Certain angles.
And when she was on the Oprah show, she was like, and now I'm not going to be like that. I'm pretty from every angle. Clearly, it didn't work.
Right. And that was probably like at least 10 years ago, right?
Exactly.
When Oprah had a show.
Exactly.
Oh, she hasn't learned anything.
I know.
But she wanted to point out that Barbra Streisand also used to make people shoot her from her good side, which Barbara felt was the left.
They're like, I'm not the only bitch.
That's what she was trying to say. And then her boyfriend, she's still with Brian Tanaka,
which
the dancer.
Is shocking, right?
He was her handler and approved the pics. So he literally was going through the crowd looking at each photo that was taken of Mariah Carey, saying yes or no to the photos.
Okay, is he her boyfriend or her gay best friend?
He's both.
Right.
Right? And he's hot.
And he's a dancer.
Right.
Yeah,
so, they...
suspect.
There, yeah, me too.
Blazing Hit Radio, Larry Ulibarri, Kathie J. Wiggins. Hey, don't forget to text us a picture of your pet in their costume.
Yes.
We want to see your cat dressed up or your dog or your iguana.
Whatever you get. And it could actually win you a huge prize pack valued at $100 from Pets and Stuff. And they'll cater it to whatever animal you have.
You have to include the word Halloween, though, to be eligible to win. So Halloween 303-728-3420 with a pet pick in the costume.
Right.
We've gotten some cute ones.
So adorable. I like dogs that are dressed up as hot dogs.
Yeah, me too. Hey, so did you guys...
You're still talking with a lid.
I know, sorry about that.
Did you hear?
I also like the hot dogs. Sorry. Did you guys hear Mega Millions? You don't play, Larry, unless somebody tells you to go play.
Well, I mean, it usually hits the news when it's something ridiculous.
Right. Well, it is ridiculous right now, but the story about Mega Millions is they're going to double their price from $1 to $2.
Okay, so now the jackpot doubles?
No, the jackpot just starts higher.
Okay.
And it'll increase faster.
Yeah, right.
So they sat around and said, how can we give ourselves raises and sneak it in and make it look like something else?
And to me, like, I do buy Mega Millions and Powerball and everything, like, not on a weekly basis, but probably on a regular, if I'm there, if I have cash in my pocket, and usually I only have $1, so I do get the Mega Millions because I can't get the Powerball because that's $2. Now I won't even be. I guess I'm sticking to Colorado Lottery.
Or you're just going to get a small Slurpee, no big hunk, and now you'll be getting the $2 ticket.
All right.
Shut your mouth, Larry Ulibarri.
I'm not psychic.
You?
I've just known her for a long time.
The ticket is going to be doubling the cost this Saturday. It'll make for bigger jackpots, though, like Wiggins said. So, the bigger...
At a faster rate, too.
Yes, right. And the odds of winning are going to jump from 1 in 258 million to 1 in 302 million, so it's going to be harder to win.
Great.
Worse odds than the Powerball. Powerball raised the tickets. Nobody really cared. They didn't suffer for it, so now Mega Millions is doing it.
And what's $2? I think everything, inflation.
Oh, no, everything goes up.
I get that. I get that.
We should be shocked it stayed at $1 for so long.
Yeah,
seriously.
right. If we were lucky to have it, weren't we, everybody?
Oh, man. So the World Series last night, it was such a quick game that they said the average fan, for everyone that bought ticket, basically paid $8 a minute.
What?
To be at that game
Because people that were right behind the dugout, I saw paid $15,000 a ticket to be there.
Yep.
That is insane.
And maybe we're just not a baseball town. I don't get it.
Well, yeah, we were for a minute.
During Rocktoberfest.
Exactly.
We were all about it.
Right, for that first game.
Right, and then it went away.
And then it was gone. But both of the teams, I mean, I'm sorry, Larry Ulibarri on sports. Do you know which
we can bring that up. Let's bring that up next. We'll bring it up.
Larry Ulibarri on sports. I got the Avs update. I got some Bronco news.
Good, okay, let's do that.
And we'll talk about baseball.
Right. The World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not this baseball.
Duh.
Right.
I mean, the World Series is baseball.
Right.
You guys trying to catch me on something?
And now, it's time for...
All out on 3. 1, 2, 3. All out. 1, 2, 3.
Larry Ulibarri on sports.
Oh, man, so many things going on. I don't know if you caught the World Series.
Here we go.
It was
baseball.
It was pretty quick. They're saying that if you went to the game, you paid $8 a minute for your ticket price.
Saying? Wow.
Yeah, that's what
It's what you just heard Wig said.
No. When I was watching the game, they mentioned it.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay, yeah. And so, who was playing for the World Series?
It was 2 baseball teams.
Totally.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And who was it?
You know what? Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Outside of Colorado and my vantage point, there is no other baseball team besides the Colorado Rockies. So whatever you want to say.
All right, here we go.
Houston Astros, Los Angeles Dodgers, Larry.
Nice Astros.
And why is it exciting that both of these teams are...
Because it's their first World Series. No? Oh, I was taking a guess there.
He was confident in that answer,
He really was.
So
I mean, it's been a long time.
Oh, right. One team hasn't been there since 1812. And the other team, it's their first time.
All right.
Yeah, so, but
And, of course, Houston strong.
Right.
The Astros are playing for the city.
Right, they want to help rebuild and, get everybody's self-esteem up.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, I think it's been like 26 years or something.
Right.
27?
20-something. So, I don't know. You tell us, Larry.
A whole team. Can you imagine a whole team of people that got out of being in the military?
What?
The Dodgers.
Oh, yes.
And we still give them props.
We still love them.
We pay them.
And pay a lot of money to go watch them. That's funny.
What was the score of the game, Larry?
Well, it was 17-28.
Okay, it's not football.
Oh, yeah, it was 4-3.
No.
No, it was 2-1.
No.
It was 8-5.
No.
It was 4-7.
No.
It was 2-3.
No.
1-1.
Close.
1-2.
Closer.
1-3.
There you go. And who won?
The Astros.
All right. No.
Oh, damn it. I had a 50-50 on that one.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Okay, you know what? Let's just go to another sport.
Okay, because I'm not that knowledgeable about that one.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Game 2 is today at 6 o'clock.
See, the thing is, I like baseball players. So I'm not really into the game as much as them.
The players, gotcha.
Right.
Okay, all right.
And I know every single one of them, so don't ask me.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about the Avs.
The Avs, man. Thank God for the Avs, right?
Yeah.
Because then people who have, that to look at, since we didn't do so well in the baseball world.
That's your update on the Avalanche.
And if you're feeling like, oh man, the Broncos are like causing me some grief.
Yeah, they are.
The Avs are killing it.
Okay. How?
Hard work and dedication, Kathie. Practice. Don't take it for granted. Never never expect a W.
They won 5-3 yesterday against the Dallas Stars, and they're third in their division right now.
Yes, they are.
That's great.
Things I already knew.
Oh, well, all right. Well, then tell us more.
Hey, make us feel better about the Bronco game. Bronco game coming up.
Here's the deal with the Broncos. Everybody's looking to push blame on somebody, and it really isn't that situation. It's not time to revamp or get rid of the coach or get rid of Simeon. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Simeon.
Yeah, he did.
Anyway, so it's I call him Cinnamon. But
you guys,
we're just friends.
You joke like that, right? You're on that kind of a level.
He calls me Cilantro. It's the adventures of Cilantro and Cinnamon. Actually, he should have top billing.
He should, right. Cinnamon and cilantro.
But it's really
horrible together.
Right, for sure. But I heard that everybody's back on where they need to be because usually players are used to getting yelled at by a white coach. Now that they're getting yelled at by a black coach, everybody's stepping it up a little bit.
What do you mean?
He's a little more forceful.
Okay.
White guys just put out memos. Black coaches hit lockers.
You mean his voice travels more.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. All right.
And that's Larry Ulibarri.
On sports.